It is done. The almighty scale of our ancient savior will summon a chosen few from miles around. And in his shadow, you will truly see the light.
Hello everyone, welcome back to the Wicker Man Project, and well, a lot of work has been done. I remember starting this project 2 years ago. I say 2 years, it hasn't taken me 2 years to do this, of course. I've only really started doing this support structure since September. But 2 years ago when I set out to do this and said I'm going to do custom catwalks and supports because the game generated ones by Frontier are actual rubbish. They are actual rubbish. Am I really going to do this? It's going to take ages, and yet here we are. They are done. They are completed. Every single support, catwalk, details on the track, everything has all been completed. Of course, Bob, he was completed quite a while ago. He isn't really part of this video. This video is mainly about the track. Now, to start things off, all the rides coming around now, I'm going to go through how this has actually been achieved. So let me just pause the game because it's going to be loud. It has all been achieved through these dimensional lumber pieces. All the UIs come up again. Let me just hide it. Dimensional lumber pieces by Tazan on the Steam Workshop. They are brilliant pieces. You're not supposed to use them for wooden coasters. They are supposed to be for like construction, like timber construction, for houses, for buildings or anything, but they work very, very, very well as wooden coaster supports and catwalks and everything. Here you can see they've been used as catwalks, they've been used as supports. In fact, the only piece that is wood that isn't the dimensional lumber pieces are the spooky planks that I've used as the cross beams in the bends. You'll see the lights there. I'll get onto the lights in just a minute, but let me just take you through all these separate pieces for an individual section of track. So as I've already said, you've got the planks and the dimensional lumber. For the cables, use these I think they're the 2 centimeter, no, not 2 centimeters, 5 centimeter beams that are on the Steam Workshop by Hydro, if I remember correctly. They work very well, not just as these cable pieces, but they are very versatile and you can use them for almost anything. They are brilliant pieces to use. If we go down here, you'll see all these nuts. These are RMC nuts that you can find. Well, not nuts, RMC connectors, sorry, that I have sunk into the wood, and they look like nuts and bolts that attach onto your standard wooden coaster. Come back up here to the maintenance light. Now, in its lifetime, Wicker Man has had 2 versions of maintenance lights. Back in 2018, there was the rectangular ones, and then I think it was sort of 2019 season, it was changed to these square ones. So these have actually been modelled by My Curious Mind, and he's done a brilliant job on these. He's also done some other things that I'll get onto in a minute. And you've also got these cable pieces that Mango Tango did, mainly for Theme Park Rules Nemesis recreation, but I've borrowed them for this as well. They work very well, and this little box down here, it's supposed to be a junction box. However, this piece is not a junction box. I'll get onto what that piece actually is in just a minute. So the next thing I wanted to highlight is this brake run. You'll see these brakes, and you'll be thinking they don't look like the in-game brakes, and that is because they're not the in-game brakes. These are specially modelled GCI brakes done by My Curious Mind once again, same as the lights. He's done a brilliant job, and as I'll show you in a minute, they are actually animated. We'll have to wait for a train to come along. Where is the train? It's over there. So we'll just wait over here for now. Whilst we wait, let's talk about the sensors. So that junction box over there are actually these sensors coloured black. Once again, My Curious Mind's done it, and all this yellow bracket for everything. He's done a brilliant job on this, and I cannot thank him enough for how much help he's been over the past few months. He's done so much. Here comes the train, so the brakes are now closed. Here we go, here comes the train. Finn comes in. and then release. There we go. Very, very nice. You'll see, actually, yeah, let me just show you this. So one of the techniques that you can do in Planet Coaster now, thanks to the mods, the ACSE mod, I think it's called, you can have fake stations, and fake station basically allows you to have stuff like this. Of course, in real life, Wicker Man station is on a slant, like so, same with the transfer area. You can't really achieve that with the in-game supports, not the in-game supports, the in-game station, sorry, and by doing a fake station, you can do this, and it works brilliantly. It's done by LSM Holding Sections, and they work so well. So if you don't have the ACSE mod, definitely download it, get it installed onto your Planet Coaster, because you can do so many things with it. It's a brilliant mod, really, really is. Now, if I talk about, let's talk about the actual station building and the pre-show and everything. So, if you remember correctly, and if you've been following this project for quite a while, you'll know that I already had the station and the pre-show done, but turns out they're very inaccurate. Very, very inaccurate. So what I've decided to do, I've just decided to completely remove them. In fact, the only thing remaining from the old station and pre-show is the actual projection mapping elements themselves, which are there, and the air gates, which needs to be put back in eventually. Oh, and also this little stone wall thing that I used for the station. But now, I found some good planning permission that has all the measurements of the station and the pre-show building and retail and transfer, and all of this. Concrete foundations are to measurement, they are exact to everything, and it looks quite better at the moment. Of course, the theming will be added later on when we get around to that, but yeah, that's basically going to do it for this update. Yeah, that's the track completed, so I have no idea what I'm going to move on to next. Maybe the queue line, maybe terrain, maybe scenery. It might be a good idea to do the terrain next, because of course this looks very bare at the moment with like no terrain at all, it's just the footers. But yeah, get around to that eventually. The station pre-show transfer area, it might end up being one of the last things I do. It might be easier to leave it for the last. Yeah, maybe let's do the queue line and scenery, and then we can move on to the buildings over there. So thank you very much for watching this edition of the Wicker Man Project. I've no clue when the next one will be. I'm going back to work soon, so you know, I won't be able to work on Planet Coaster as much as I have done over the winter. I've been on this every single day of the winter apart from like Christmas or something. Thank you very much, and I will see you in the next video, whenever that's going to be. Goodbye.